Headline news most affecting Chilliwack this week. Did you get the number of that bus? Because it's changed. The Chilliwack Pride Festival has now started their plans for 2022. Post-flood repair work in Cultus Lake Provincial Park is about to start. And we will have Chilliwack Chiefs Playoff ticket information with Josh Bohr. He'll have more in sports later on in the show. Our special guest this week, speaking of sports, is Andrea Laycock, the chairperson for Chilliwack FC. All right, Chilliwack, let's get started. Our top story. The renumbering for BC Transit buses in Chilliwack is almost complete. Most of the bus stop signs have been replaced, and it should be all complete by Sunday. Now, all Chilliwack buses will have numbers rooted in the 50s, so they won't be confused with the Abbotsford system. They are still using the single and low digits. Now, the 66 Fraser Valley Express to Langley, that remains unchanged. Now, also starting on Sunday, that limited stop express route will now extend to the Lougheed SkyTrain station in Burnaby. Over the weekend, management and the workers' union were pointing fingers in a CP rail dispute over wages and benefits, to the point that goods transported by CP Rail were actually shut down for just over 24 hours. The federal government very vocal that this issue was not in the best interest for the country. Late Monday, a tentative agreement was reached. CP is the rail line north of the Fraser. That's the one that runs through Agassiz. CN Rail is the line that goes through Chilliwack. They're still in the early planning stages, but the Chilliwack Pride Festival is starting to come together for 2022. Planning still in the early stages. However, with COVID restrictions relaxing, this bodes well for a summer fest. The first organizational meeting was this past week, and the chair, Terry Westerby, says the planning is now to get sponsors and cooperation with downtown businesses. BC Teachers Federation has a new president and very well known here. At the BCTF AGM, Clint Johnston was elected president. Clint was the president of the Chilliwack Teachers Association from 2012 to 2014 and oversaw some significant changes to the local education system. He will be the first BCTF president from the Chilliwack local. He takes a strong stand in favor of Indigenous and LGBTQ rights and justice. The post-flood Cultus cleanup at Sunnyside Campground is now complete. Now, note that this falls under the Cultus Lake Park proper. The devastation at Maple Bay is yet to be cleared up. That falls under BC Provincial Parks. chillTV sent a reporter there over the weekend, and while the beach is still a mess, the Maple Bay cabins and Lindell Beach proper were not hit. Teapot Hill is open to hikers, but be forewarned about the potholes along Columbia Valley Highway. Now, Premier John Horgan was in the valley meeting with local politicians about that flood recovery, and one of the announcements was that the road surface repairs to the Columbia Valley Highway will start this Friday, weather permitting. A paving contractor and traffic controls now lined up. Perimeter Road, Lakeshore Drive, Delta Grove, and Jade Bay, as well as Teapot Hill, will be the first to receive treatment. Still with the post-November flood cleanup, the province needs help to report flood debris found in rivers and creeks along the Fraser Valley Regional District. So there is an online flood debris explorer through the FVRD social media, or you simply call the spill reporting line. All of that info, again, is on the FVRD social media sites. Chilliwack Metropolitan Orchestra presenting Heroes and Villains this Sunday. The CMO and guest soloist, bass baritone Andrew Greenwood, have an exciting program of music and film, Broadway and opera. Tickets are available through Eventbrite or at the door. It's 2 o'clock Sunday at Christ Lutheran Church, which is at Yale and Charles Street. Spring break continues at the Chilliwack Coliseum. West Coast Amusements is once again holding one of the biggest carnivals in the country. Now, ticket information is available through West Coast Amusements website or through the social media of the Chilliwack Coliseum. And after the break, Josh has sports and an interview with Andrea Laycock of Chilliwack FC.
Welcome back to Sports, everyone. It's Josh here with you once again. And today for Sports, we have a very special guest. We are joined today by Andrea Laycock, the chairperson of Chilliwack FC. Andrea, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Now, let's jump into, I think, what is the biggest story right now at Chilliwack FC, which is this quality soccer designation that you've earned from Canada Soccer. You were indicating to me just before the interview what a huge deal this is and how long it's been to get this. Do you mind just kind of going into kind of how that process worked and also what this designation is going to mean for the club moving forward?
For sure. It's actually been a few years in the making, and then COVID hit and everything kind of stopped. And then BC Soccer rejigged everything and put us into the quality soccer providership. So what it does is it gives us an overarching framework for expectation and standards to hit.
Mm.
Making sure our coaches have respect in sport, are doing criminal record checks, that we are actually following the grassroots what do they call it? The Canada Soccer Standards for grassroots play,
Yes.
and making sure that we're just gives us a good standard, and it also helps alleviate to some of those potential issues that come up as a result of not having proper governance and policies in place, because it
Mhm.
requires you to have certain things in place to have those designations. And without that designation in 2023, we would not be able to participate in leagues.
Oh, so this is now a requirement from Soccer Canada in order to participate in all leagues or some of the
Yes,
higher level
in
leagues?
all leagues, all
Oh,
leagues. So
wow.
all the soccer clubs, any member association has to have this designation by 2023 at minimum. And there are higher designations that you can get.
So you were 100% on a bit of a time crunch here, and I'm sure COVID threw. You
Yeah,
thought you would have had this done and sealed probably a couple of years ago, and you've had to just,
we did. We were right there. We were
and
right
then you
there,
just had
and
to
then
basically
BC
start over.
Soccer. No, we were pretty much done. We had to clean up a few things and add it because they added to the program, so which is fine. And
Mm.
we just had to tighten our laces a bit and move forward.
So there are two programs that kind of come under that umbrella because this is now a framework that the
Hmm.
whole program is going to operate under, if I'm understanding correctly. And there are
Yes.
two programs that I think are really cool that are kind of coming along with this. And the first is the Female Coaches Mentorship Program. I think the concept, I don't know anything about it, but I think the concept is really cool. Tell me kind of what this is going to mean and what your goal with it is going to be.
Well, it is a part of it. Being diverse and inclusive is a part of that process. Having your
Mm.
designation and what we're hoping for is we have a bunch of great female coaches in our club already, and we know there's a bunch of great ones just out there, just not sure
Mm.
how to do it, because as awful as this sounds, it still can be seen as a very male dominated sport, even though our national team is coached by a female. Our national women's team and that, but what we're hoping to do is bring those girls that want to give it a try an opportunity in a safe space, for lack of a better word, and let them learn and grow within the mentors we have in our club and within mentors outside of our club as well.
And it gets to kind of also capitalize on some of the momentum from the aforementioned women's team and their popularity and success.
Absolutely.
So many young
Absolutely.
girls are the stats are just skyrocketing for young
Yeah.
girls getting into soccer. So this is right on that wave, which is amazing. The other one is the adaptive soccer program, which I know has been in the works for a number of years. What are you looking to do with that program, and what do you think that's going to benefit the club moving forward?
you, we've always registered kids that have had different challenges, whether they be physical, mental, all, and that. So, but it isn't always a best environment for them, the traditional
Mm,
environment.
yes,
So
absolutely.
some of them have sensory issues. There's 101 different things, and we always want that soccer experience to be a positive one for anybody who signs up with Chilliwack FC. This program allows them the opportunity to pick one or the other,
Yeah.
or both if they wish. And that's what
Uh,
we want. We want to create a positive environment for those kids in a safe space. And so by having it, this is something that's been on our radar for a long time, but it's really easy to put together a program and call up a parent and say, hey, can you coach? This is a program that requires special people to run it
yes.
with the appropriate training. And so it's taken us this long to find two very qualified people in Katie Diaz and Brady Cameron to take that on, because that's their career in School District 33.
That is unbelievable. I remember I played for Chilliwack FC. It was funny just before the interview you and I were talking about. You remember when I used to play, which I just think is insane, and how many years ago that was. But I remember this program being mentioned even back then, and I think it's just so cool that we're getting to
Yeah,
see it through fruition. All
yeah.
right. So I
And
mentioned that
and
oh,
I'm
sorry, you go.
thrilled that it's a part of that program. I'm sorry. I'm thrilled that it's a part of that requirement for the quality soccer and for the national license that we are still continuing to apply, are working in through our application for.
Absolutely, absolutely. All
Yeah.
right, let's move to spring soccer because there's spring. I know
Okay.
it's kind of the informal, formal kickoff of the soccer season here in Chilliwack. I
Yeah.
remember playing spring soccer growing up. What's coming up on the horizon?
Well, we've got our traditional Chilliwack Ford League, the old that you probably played in back in the day. It's grown a little bit since then. So the registration is ongoing for that. Spaces are becoming very limited. So if
Mm,
people are interested in registering their kids, jump on that. Even if you're jumping onto the wait list, please jump on it. And then we also we're venturing into our first season with the Cascadia League, which the best way to describe that is the continuation of the Fall League, just under a different format.
cool.
And then we have, of course, the adaptive program running as well.
Very cool. Very, very cool. I always so many things going on with Chilliwack FC. It's welcome to BC. Year-round soccer. We can just
Yeah.
play all year. It just spring rolls into fall, rolls into winter, back to spring, and
Yeah.
I'm very excited to see what's next with Chilliwack FC. I think the best is
As are
yet to
we.
come.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Well, Andrea, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure. I can't wait to have you back in the future, and
I look
we
forward
will
to
be
it.
back. Oh, no problem. We'll be back with the rest of sports in just a few moments. Thanks again so much to Andrea for joining us. An immense pleasure to talk to you. I still can't believe you remembered me from all those years ago playing rep. Anyways, let's jump into the rest of sports here with the Chilliwack Chiefs, whose playoff tickets are on sale right now. The team is sitting in 4th in the Coastal Division, but could rise as high as 2nd in the division with a win Friday night against Merritt. So contact the Chiefs office for all the information on tickets. It might be the only playoff hockey you're going to get to see in a while. Lord knows the Canucks are maybe a couple years away. Anyways, moving to Cultus Lake ski cross champion Reese Howden, who placed 13th in the final World Cup race this past weekend in Switzerland. Now, the World Cup circuit may be over, but there is one event I'm sure he's still looking forward to: the Red Bull Pro Super Ski Cross event on March 26th in Andermatt, Switzerland, where he is actually the defending champion. Last year, he narrowly beat Jean-Frédéric Chapuis and Switzerland's Mark Biskofberger by just a fingernail at the finish line. So it'll be another exciting race this season. I'm sure he'll be looking to defend his title. Log into Red Bull TV on their website to watch all the races. Trust me, it is the absolute most insane ski cross track you've ever seen. All right, the BC Senior Curling Championships were this past weekend at the Chilliwack Curling Club. Congratulations to the winners: Wes Craig from Vancouver Island and Leanne Andrews from Cloverdale and Maple Ridge, who are crowned BC Senior Champions. Congrats to both of you. The Chilliwack Giants Easter fundraiser is on right now. Support local minor football by purchasing Easter treats and some delicious desserts from Chilliwack Airport Restaurant. All the information and the order sheet is up on the Giants Facebook page, so definitely check that out. Finally, the Chilliwack Center of Excellence is a non-profit paddling club based in Cultus Lake. They're offering kayak lessons, 4 for $100, which is an unbelievable deal, including a club membership and all the equipment. So if you want to learn how to paddle like a pro this summer and not sink or run into any boats, check out the CCE Paddling Club Facebook page for that. That sounds like an absolute blast and a really good deal. All right, that is all we've got for sports today. As always, thank you so much for watching. Thanks again to Andrea, and we will see you all next week.
chillTV weather, it'll be a rainy weekend with the highs of 10, so time to go shopping for some plants. If you'd like to participate in reporting news in Chilliwack and you have a story you think we should know about, you can always send us a note to news@chilltv.ca. We'd love to hear from you. That's the news this week. I'm Don Lehn.